From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening. Multiple agencies are searching the Chena River at this hour for a man whose raft reportedly overturned late this afternoon.
That's right. According to first responders, a group of 4 was rafting the river, and when their raft overturned, only 3 of the 4 surfaced. Fire Assistant Chief Ernie Muswit said the man was not wearing a life jacket at the time he went into the water. Now, not much detail was available as of news time, but searchers are beginning to assess the situation and have launched multiple boats.
Now we're looking for an adult male that was in the river between Pega Road and the University Bridge. We got Fairbanks Fire has their rescue raft in the water with people. We have University's rescue boat, and we also have a rescue boat from Fort Wainwright Fire. And basically, we're checking the area, trying to go over there and pinpoint, where it actually happened, and then checking the river from that point on.
Alaska State Troopers and Fairbanks Police were on scene after a brief standoff this morning. According to troopers, they made contact with a male and female in a stolen red pickup truck. The situation escalated, according to Trooper James Eister, and the suspect was shot. Officials say the unarmed man wouldn't cooperate and brandished a gun prior to the incident. Troopers say they attempted to use less than lethal force without success. Actually, the alleged person was armed. The area of Wilbur Street and Davis Road was cordoned off as the investigation continued. The man was sent to Fairbanks Memorial Hospital for possible life-threatening injuries.
This morning, state troopers contacted a stolen vehicle. It was occupied by a male and a female. We had a brief standoff with the male. The male decided not to cooperate. Things escalated, and then subsequently he was shot. This is an ongoing investigation. We'll have further details later.
Family members of a man shot by a trio of young adults say he is recovering. Meanwhile, the 3 were arraigned this afternoon in Fairbanks Superior Court and pleaded not guilty to numerous charges. 20-year-old Timothy Couchy, 19-year-old Joshua Ramos, and 18-year-old Katie Muchler were indicted on Friday on charges including attempted murder, attempted robbery, conspiracy to commit murder, conspiracy to commit robbery, first-degree assault, and lastly, first-degree robbery. Police have described the shooting as a botched thrill kill after finding a kill list and rules that the 3 followed as they set a man up for the hit. According to charging documents, the trio set up a marijuana buy at a snow dump in Hamilton Acres. When the man arrived to distribute the small amount of pot, he was shot in the head and chest. He drove himself to the emergency room and was listed in critical condition. Today, his family members spoke to us and said he is released from the hospital and is recovering at home. They also thanked the Fairbanks police detectives for their work on the case.
Travelers will now be able to fly Delta Airlines all year round out of Fairbanks International Airport. The Atlanta-based company started offering nightly direct flights between the Golden Heart City and Seattle earlier this month. Delta service is no longer seasonal and will continue throughout the winter. Smaller 78-seat jets will be used to fly the recently established route. 12 of those spots will be for first-class passengers. Airport officials say Delta now operates an exclusive gate at the facility. Chief of Operations at the Fairbanks International Airport, Melissa Osborne, says in addition to price competition, the increase of options will give travelers more destinations to fly to.
Well, I think, anytime there's competition, that's a good thing. Both Alaska Airlines and Delta Airlines offer nonstop Fairbanks to Seattle service in Fairbanks year-round. So that can do nothing but good for the community, gives people more choices, more opportunities to make the connections they want to places around the world. And so we're really excited to have them back and to have additional Fairbanks to Seattle travel options for Fairbanks.
All right, when we come back, Opera Fairbanks will kick off their season this weekend with a unique inaugural ball. We'll share all of the musical twists that are planned for participants.
Also in this week's health report, the spotlight will be on the risks of diabetes to many adults across the nation and locally. Those stories and more when we return. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the Fairbanks Evening News. Classes began at the University of Alaska Fairbanks last week. Today, the Fairbanks business community heard from UA President Jim Johnson and interim UAF Chancellor Mike Powers during the Fairbanks Chamber of Commerce weekly member luncheon. Jamie Schwartzwald has the story.
Both men have officially been in their positions for just over a week, but are in familiar surroundings, having served in previous roles within the UA system. Johnson began by proclaiming that through business creation and professional placement, the university is the state's fiscal plan. He detailed roles each of the three main campuses will maintain, and at UAF, the system's flagship campus, that means Arctic research.
We will never, ever cede, C-E-D-E, our world leadership role in Arctic research. Never. That is critical for us. It's something that we must continue to lead in. Right now, we are number one, and we'll continue to be there no matter what the budget situation might be.
Roughly 45% of UA's revenue comes from the fiscally strapped state of Alaska. Johnson says additional reductions are forthcoming, but adds that the cuts will not be distributed equally. We
don't do salami slicing distribution of cuts. That is, it's not going to be everybody takes 3% or everybody takes 5%. We're going to invest in areas even though we're declining overall.
Powers, a former UA regent, takes over on an interim basis for the departed Brian Rogers. Powers indicated that he is not interested in having the interim chancellor tag removed.
My job is to be a bridge, to pass the baton to someone who is so passionate and loves the university as equally or close to what Brian and Sherry Rogers.
Powers touched on recent successes in graduation and retention rates at UAF. He says the #1 capital priority has to be completion of the engineering building on campus. $8 million earmarked for the building was stripped out of the capital budget during last legislative session. Powers also spoke of continued reductions in operating dollars.
It's a $200 million shortfall. And that is being addressed through academic and non-academic program reviews, targeted budget reductions, revenue ideas.
The Farthest North Opera Company is hosting an event this weekend that will treat guests to an evening of opera. Opera Fairbanks announced that its inaugural ball will take place this Saturday, September 12th at the Westmark Hotel beginning at 6:30 p.m. While dining and dancing, guests can listen to live orchestral and vocal music performed by local and out-of-state professionals. The ball premiere has a lineup of musical selections from popular operas, and audience members can sing along in featured pieces. In addition to the musical fanfare, guests will have the chance to win prizes throughout the evening. Tickets must be purchased in advance and are available online at operafairbanks.com. Conductor Karen Gustafson says it will be an unforgettable evening of music making.
Bring in lots of singers from the Met and from different opera companies around really the world, and these are the finest singers that that show up at all the big opera houses, and here they are in Fairbanks. So the fundraising activity from this opera ball really goes to help put on that type of production.
A new study shows about 14% of the U.S. population has type 2 diabetes. Experts say it's further evidence that the numbers appear to be leveling off. Monty Bowen has more in this week's health report.
While the leveling off is good news, it also emphasizes that undiagnosed diabetes and prediabetes continue to be a problem.
You can almost stretch it to half of the population having prediabetes, which means you are at risk to develop diabetes in the coming decade or so.
Diabetes is a major cause of illness and death in the United States. Complications from the disease include blindness, kidney problems, nerve damage that can lead to amputations, heart disease, and stroke. One of the problems is people don't feel bad until it is too late.
It doesn't cause really pain at the beginning. It doesn't make you feel that bad at the beginning. And that is the issue, that individuals don't realize they have the problem.
Physicians recommend taking matters into your own hands by talking to your doctor about your risk for diabetes and learning what you can do to reverse or prevent it.
Exercise is very important. Making yourself active throughout the day is very important. And portion control, healthy choice of your food. Each time you put something in your mouth, you should ask yourself, is it really worth for me to eat that?
They say living a healthy lifestyle is a good place to start. This is Monty Bowen reporting.
The Health Report is brought to you by the Ear, Nose, and Throat Clinic, located in the Medical Dental Arts Building, and by Interior Women's Health, located on 1626 30th Avenue.
Joe Cook is up next with sports, and he has this week's Nanook Corner.
He'll recap the opening weekend of Nanook sports.
That's right, plus a former North Pole football player has a solid debut in college football.
Awesome, all that and more after the break with Joe Cook.
Welcome back, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here with the local Tuesday Sportscast. It's Tuesday, so we start with the Nanook Corner. In today's piece, we recap the opening weekend for UAF volleyball and the cross-country teams. They have a lot to build off of. Here's more.
The Alaska Cross Country program has all the momentum going into their next meet following the Moda Health Alaska Invitational. In their only home meet of the season, the Nanooks won the overall team title. Both squads were runner-ups in their opener. On the second day of action, the UAF men won their division in the 5K and the women were second overall.
We wanted to focus definitely on good team performance, not only on good individual results. We wanted to place as a team really good and to show these guys what we can do in Alaska.
Harriers like Keegan Rankin, Dorothy O'Donnell, and Alex Eckert were some of the UAF frontrunners during the meet. They'll need strong performances from them and their deep teams to do well in one of the biggest meets coming up at Stanford.
So this will be a much different course for us, fast and flat, much bigger field, hundreds of runners, but we're real excited. Expect to see much improved times, PRs, that sort of thing, personal records down there, and that's coming up at the end of September, and then we get into our GNAC and regional championships towards the end of October, early November.
The UAF volleyball team had one of their best performances in the Flint Hills Resources Nanook Classic despite not winning a match. They won 5 sets, the most since 2012. We learned the team is as deep as ever. Sam Hartoon became the third Nanook to reach 1,000 kills. It was named to the all-tournament team. Maddie Davis was efficient through the tourney and had a career-high 12 kills against St. Mary's. Freshman Amberly Jean had back-to-back double-digit kill games in her debut. And libero Megan Olson posted a career-high 22 digs against St. Joseph's. They are closer than ever to breaking the losing trend.
It was really exciting. I thought all the girls did really well, and we really complimented each other, and the crowd was awesome. It was a lot of fun and a lot of great energy brought to the court for us. And it was really exciting, and I thought we did really well. We definitely have things that we need to work on, but it was a good first run, and nice to see how we match up against another team. I'll meet you in the So it was a good start.
Next up for the Nanooks this week is the GNAC Pac West Crossover Tournament in Seattle, Washington.
Nanook Corner, brought to you by Sports Medicine Fairbanks.
And now we have a story on a former interior football player who played his first Division I football game. Lance Wright, North Pole Products, started for the Rice Owls on Saturday in their season opener against Wagner. Wright led the Owls in catches with the game-high 5 receptions for 38 yards in his debut. The Owls won 56-16. Wright redshirted last year after suffering an injury during camp. He's the team's only signee outside of Texas and is the first football recruit from Alaska for Rice. Wright was an all-state wideout for the Patriots and was Mr. Football for Alaska as a senior. He finished his career with 90 catches for over 1,800 yards and 26 touchdowns. The Owls will face the Texas Longhorns this Saturday. In high school volleyball, a couple of interior teams earned conference wins over the weekend. Allison swept Galena 25-21, 25-11, 25-12 on Friday for the first Aurora Conference win. Lexi Smith had 13 assists and 4 kills while playing on a bad ankle for the Ravens. Hutchinson also got a conference win with a sweep over Delta 25-5, 27-25, and 25-11. Sophia Tallberg led the Hawks with 10 kills. Monroe suffered their first conference loss to Valdez on Saturday. The Bucks swept the Rams 25-18, 25-23, 25-18. Giselle Hollis had 25 assists for the Rams, and Kiana King added 11 kills. Monroe is now 2-1 in the Aurora Conference. Both West Valley cross-country teams won team titles in Palmer over the weekend. The girls' team, they won with 51 points, led by Jenna DeFalco's 6th place finish in 19 minutes 36 seconds. The Wolfpack had 3 in the top 10. West Anchorage and Connie were 2nd and 3rd. The Wolfpack boys won a tiebreaker over South Anchorage for the boys' title. Ty Donaldson was the 1st place finisher for the pack, 3rd overall in 16 minutes 24 seconds. Lathrop's Logan Murray was 12th. In the 1 through 3A races, Galena's Caleb Corder and Glen Allen's Brianna Gerlach won the boys and girls races. The Monroe boys, they placed 5th in the boys division, and the Hutchinson girls, they were 6th. Grace Christian won both the 3A boys and girls titles. And that'll do it for sports tonight. Thanks for watching. Mike Schultz is up next with your full weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back into our Tuesday night edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. Mike Schultz with you once again talking about the weather, and it was a nice day across the interior. Temperatures close to 60 degrees. Again, the trees are looking magnificent, as was witnessed by this photograph we got today from Calypso Spirit. Look at the colors, gorgeous, beautiful. yellows and the contrasting against the blue sky. Great photograph, and that's all over the place. We'll call that thank you, Mother Nature, for giving us such a beautiful picture. And thanks to Calypso Spirit, whoever that is. As always, if you have a photograph to share, send it to photos@ktvf11.com. Your numbers look like this. Today's high so far, 58 degrees. The low last night was 48. The record high was 74. That was in 1997. The record low, 1921, down to 20 degrees. Sunrise and sunset, 13 hours and 51 minutes of daylight. That's a loss of 6 minutes from yesterday. On our satellite radar, not a whole lot going on across southeast Alaska. There's quite a bit of moisture moving across the southwest. That's bringing with it some scattered showers over the southwest portion of the state, and a little bit of band of moisture trying to work its way past the Alaska Range, but not having a whole lot of luck. Just a few scattered showers in the area. In fact, our latest radars would zoom in around the Fairbanks area. As you can see, just a few smatterings of clouds and moisture here, nothing really being reported, and that's going to be the way it is for the next day or so. Maybe a little better chance of some showers tomorrow. What's going on across the rest of the state? Well, over southeast Alaska, you can see cloudy skies at Juneau and Ketchikan, 57 degrees there. Kodiak looking at 55 degrees, some scattered showers, also scattered showers around the Anchorage Bowl. Cloudy skies along the Aleutian Chain. Then up you go the west coast, Bethel at 55, 52 degrees at Nome, and north of the Brooks Range, 34 degrees at Barrow, cloudy skies. Fort Yukon, sunshine and 57. Lower 48 weather looks like this, and again, we're going to be talking about the warmest temperatures to the east. Maybe some thunderstorms rumbling across parts of Texas. Denver, 83, 82 at Salt Lake City. 100-degree temperatures again for Las Vegas and Phoenix. A nice day in Seattle, 73 there. As you move to the east, you get back into the hot temperatures once again. St. Louis, 91, 99 in Dallas, Fort Worth, 92 degrees in Washington, D.C. New York, 95 degrees. A lot of humidity going on, and a little bit of thunderstorm activity across with this front system here, but it just kind of fizzles out at the end there, so not a lot of strength to that. And again, clear skies out to the west. And that's going to be the trend as the jet stream is expected to be way up to the north, and that will allow the heat to build in once again over much of California, right on into parts of Oregon. The jet stream, as you can see, moving way up to the north. That's really unusual. And then taking a big dive down across the Great Lakes, helping to spawn some showers there. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow. Here's what, well, first of all, let's start with the kids' weather. Why not? Something different. Ann Ween Elementary School is who we're talking with this week. And as we're going to be talking with the kids, let's go ahead and hear a story from a young man.
It was a rainy day. I was woke by my mom because my camp was flooding. My sister and I were a little, so we cried. I helped my mom's friend, but it was no use. My mom picked me and my sister up and left. I was praying no one got hurt. No one got hurt, but just wet.
That's good to hear nobody got flooded out. And again, tomorrow night, we'll be seeing and hearing from a young man once again from Ann Ween Elementary School with a picture about weather. And again, as always, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank. Okay, here now we're looking at our map for Alaska for tomorrow for the northern sections. Chance of snow at Barrows, showers expected at Fort Yukon, and sunny skies for Nome. Over the interior, best weather, looking at isolated showers at Fairbanks, showers for Healy, and then possibly just mainly cloudy skies in the Delta Junction area. Over to the southeastern sections, rain is possible by afternoon in Juneau, cloudy skies at Ketchikan, while over to the southwest part of the state, scattered showers for Cold Bay, chance of rain for Kodiak, and periods of rain for Bethel. And over the south central sections, looking at showers likely for Anchorage and Homer, and rain is likely in Valdez. Okay, our forecast for the remainder of the night looks like this. Again, we're looking at, for the most part, cloudy skies, just an isolated shower possible, 44 degrees. Tomorrow's forecast, another good day, 63 degrees with isolated showers in the afternoon, about a 20% chance. And the extended forecast, look at the temperatures falling down over the weekend, down to the low 50s for Saturday, Sunday, into Monday. No precipitation expected after Thursday, and overnight lows will also cool down to the upper 30s to mid 30s by Saturday night, the way it looks like right now. But still, no cold air in sight, so that's good news.
It's been beautiful the last few days. Can't complain.
And those trees, those leaves are just gorgeous.
And you were right. We were talking about that last week. They just turned over the weekend, just like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very pretty though.
Nature flipped that light switch.
Very good. All right, thanks, Mike. And that will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
Well, tonight on NBC Nightly News, Republican presidential candidate Ben Carson is riding an anti-establishment wave to be a legitimate contender. That's up next with Lester Holt.
All right, join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at Facebook, because you can follow us on Facebook, KTVF.
A lot of good news, too.
Yes. Or, of course, webcenter11.com.
That's right. From all of us here at the News Center, have a great night.